Hi friends, welcome to YouTube channel Study Karnataka. In this video, we will be continuing the series of Karnataka history and that will be completely in English. The first 4 videos have been uploaded and they are available on YouTube. If you haven't watched those 4 videos, you can watch those. I will be providing the playlist link in the description. And if at all you have not joined the Telegram channel, you can opt to join it. The link will be provided in descriptions. You can also follow on Instagram as well as Twitter, where I will be updating at least one current affairs on daily basis so that it will be helpful for you in the examination. Now, in history of Karnataka, we have seen the antiquity, where does the name of Karnataka lies, and some of the important facts such as latitude, longitude, and rivers that are flowing in Karnataka and that can be asked in examination. Those all information have been covered in the 4 videos. So please do watch those 4 videos and come back to this video so that it will be useful for you to understand. Now, from today onwards, I will be trying to complete the syllabus of Karnataka history and I will be majorly focusing on important dynasties that can be asked and that are most important for KEA, KPSc and all other examinations. Even some of the topics of this such as Chalukya of Badami, Vijayanagar Empire are very much important for UPSC also. So if at all you are preparing for central exams, then also these videos are very much useful for you. So in this video, we will be seeing the Chalukyas of Badami, right? And this is one of the important dynasties that ruled over the Karnataka because it extended a huge vast and there were some of the major kings. Those are known as the greatest kings of India itself, or we can say that greatest king of South India. So my name is Chetan Punekar. So let's begin the video. In this, we will see the Chalukya dynasty. See, this is the region where the Chalukya dynasty has ruled. You can see it has extended a lot. That means it has expanded its ruling over majority part of the Karnataka and some part of Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana as well. So, at the initial stage, we need to see from where does these records of Chalukya Badami, that means the information of these kings are available. First one is Nilagunda record. This Nilagunda record of it belongs to Vikrama VI of Chalukya of Kalyani. As we go on see that in some of the sons of the king will start the other branch of Chalukyas and that leads to the eastern, western Chalukyas as well as Chalukyas of Badami. And Vikrama VI is one of the king of Chalukya of Kalyani and his records, that is Nilagunda record, talks about Chalukya of Badami. The second one is Hyderabad plates. It is related to Pulakeshi II and these Hyderabad plates of Pulakeshi II also gives us a brief history and some of the important facts about the Chalukyas of Badami. The third one is Badami cave records and it is of Mangalesha. We will get to know who are these kings, what are those, that means who, in which region they ruled. We will get to know each and everything in upcoming slides. So if at all we want to see the images of this is nothing but Badami cave of Mangalesha. There were some of the inscriptions and some of the records that has been sculpted on this, from which we have got the information about the Chalukyas of Badami. This is the Meguti temple in which the Aihole inscription is given. We will see some of the details about Aihole inscription as well. See, you can see this Aihole inscription and this inscription was in Kannada scripture. Do remember this. And these are nothing but Hyderabad plates of Pulakeshi II, which also gives us the information about the Chalukyas of Badami. Now, Aihole and some of the Sanskrit records are written in Kannada script. Do remember this because this can be the question that can be asked in examination. Aihole and some of the Sanskrit records are written in Kannada script. Next, the emblem of Chalukya of Badami was Varaha or divine boar because they were originally Vaishnavas. Now the question can be asked that Chalukyas of Badami were originally belongs to which, that means they followed which faith. You can see Vaishnavism. So these are some of the images. Now let's get deep dive into who were the rulers and in which region they did ruled, and who were their father grandfathers as well. See, this is the flow chart where you will get to know each and every king chronologically. And do remember, you need to remember the chronological order of the kings, because in kpsc and ke examination they will for sure ask you the chronological order of the kings. The first king, the first major king or the establisher is nothing but Pulakeshi I. And from the Badami cliff record, we will get to know that Jaisimha was the grandfather of Pulakeshi I. And do remember, this question has been asked in the examination. From which record we did get to know that Jaisimha was the grandfather of Pulakeshi I? The answer will be Badami cliff record. And it also talks that Pulakeshi I was the son of Ranaranga. That means Ranaranga was the father of Pulakeshi I. See, cliff records are nothing but, these are Badami caves, right? And this is nothing but the cliff records. If you have read the geography, you will get to know how these cliffs are formed. Now, the inscriptions that have minted on these cliffs, these type of information has extracted, and that has given us the information that Jaisimha was the grandfather of Pulakeshi I and Pulakeshi I was the son of Ranaranga. Next, there were the titles of Pulakeshi I. Those titles are Satyashreya, Vallabha and Dharma Maharaja. Do remember these words. You need to buy these things because they will give one of the titles such as Satyashreya. This title belongs to which king? Then the answer should be Pulakeshi I. So the titles are Satyashreya, Vallabha and Dharma Maharaja. He is wife of Durlabha Devi and she belongs to Bapura family. See, do remember these things because in examination, if at all they ask who was, that means Durlabha Devi was the wife of, then your answer should be Pulakeshi I. She belonged to Bapura family. Now, there is one of the important fact that you need to remember about this Durlabha Devi. In the caves of, that means in the Aihole inscription, in the mainly in the Mahakuta pillar inscription, it's not Aihole, it's Mahakuta pillar inscription, a grant made by Durlabha Devi, that is the queen of Pulakeshi I, it has been mentioned in Mahakuta pillar inscription. You need to remember this because this has been inscripted on the Mahakuta pillar inscription and this can be asked in your examination. Next we talk about Kirtivarman I. See, Kirtivarman I was the son of Pulakeshi I. You can see this chronological order here. Okay, Jaisimha was the grandfather of Pulakeshi I. Ranaranga was the father of Pulakeshi I. Then Pulakeshi I came to power in 543 AD. Next came his son, that is Kirtivarman I, and he came during the period of 566 AD. Kirtivarman I had the titles of Pugavarma, Katyarasa. Do remember this? Kirtivarman I had the titles Pugavarma and Katyarasa. During his regime, his brother Mangalesha, right? Pulakeshi I had two sons. One is Kirtivarman I and another one is Mangalesha. During the regime of Kirtivarman I, Mangalesha built the Vaishnava cave at Badami in 578 AD. Do remember this. Who built the Vaishnava cave? If at all they ask the question, then our answer should be Mangalesha. And in the regime of Kirtivarman I. Next, Kirtivarman I, he married Skandara princess. And do note that Skandara princes were ruling from Shivamogga district, right? If all we see it in the Karnataka map, then here it is the Shivamogga. And from this region, the Skandara princes were ruling. See, do remember these kind of small facts are also important for examination because if at all they ask that Skandara princes were ruling from which region, then answer should be Shivamogga. And they were the contemporary to the ruling of Chalukya of Badami. So these were some of the information of Pulakeshi I and Kirtivarman I. And do remember, not more than one question can be asked from these two kings, right? If at all they can ask, it will be from this slide itself. So don't focus much on more things. Just read whatever is being taught in the video. So you have got this cliff record. And these are the Jina and Vaishnava caves. Do remember this. And Vaishnava, as you have seen that Vaishnava caves were built by Mangalesha. And he was the brother of Kirtivarman I. Now, there is an interesting story that tells that After Jaisimha, that means Jaisimha was the grandfather of Pulakeshi I. Ranaranga was the father of Pulakeshi I. Pulakeshi I came to the rule, that means he came to power in 543 AD. Pulakeshi I had the titles such as Satyashraya, Vallabha and Dharma Maharaja. Kirtivarman I came to power in 566 AD. He was the son of Pulakeshi I. Kirtivarman I had the titles such as Pugavarma and Katyarasa. After this, what happened? Kirtivarman had son named as Pulakeshi II. Do remember this story. Try to understand. He had the son Pulakeshi II. But what happened? When he was minor, the Mangalesha thought that he can ascend the throne. And keeping him in the shadow, that is keeping Pulakeshi II in the shadow, Mangalesha came to power. After few years, Mangalesha took shelter in, we will see where he took the shelter, and he declared a war against Mangalesha. Mangalesha was defeated and Pulakeshi II came to the power, and that's why Pulakeshi II is also known as the great ruler of South India. Let's see how did Mangalesha and what were the achievements of him. Mangalesha, he came to power in 596 AD. His major achievements are defeat of Kalachuri Buddhavarsha of Konkana. Do remember, you need to buy it. Yes, of course, these are facts, but you need to buy it that his major achievement was defeat of Kalachuri Buddhavarasa of Konkana. The Mahakuta pillar inscription talks about Mangalesha's victory over Ganga, Dharmila. The other name of Pallava is Dharmila, Chola, Alupa and Kadamba. Do remember this because this can be the factual question that can be asked in the examination. The other name of Pallava was Dharmila. See, as we have seen that Durlabha Devi, a queen of Pulakeshi I, she had grant made to some of the temples, and that grant has been mentioned or it has been written in Mahakuta pillar inscription, and that belongs to Mangalesha. See, as I have told you the story that Mangalesha had ascended the throne during the minority of Kirtivarman's son, right? And who was the Kirtivarman's son? He was Pulakeshi II. What did Pulakeshi II did is nothing but he came to power after killing Mangalesha in the war of 609 AD, and that war is known as Elpattu Simbige. Do you remember this? The war in which Pulakeshi II defeated or killed Mangalesha was Elpattu Simbige, and we get to know about this information from Peddava Daguru record. Right? This can be the question that can be asked. So do remember, one is Elpattu Simbige is the war in which Pulakeshi II defeated Mangalesha, and we get to know about this information from Peddava Daguru record. Now, some of the information about the Pulakeshi II. Pulakeshi II, he was the greatest among the rulers of Badami, and he was one of the great kings of India. Do remember this. He was one of the greatest rulers of Badami and one of the great kings of India. See, this is the image of Pulakeshi II, and this is the ideal that has been in the temples built by Chalukya of Badami. Now, let's see the information about Pulakeshi II. Do remember that he is one of the important king and most of the exams focus on him. So, please do try to make the notes of Pulakeshi II in detail. If at all you found any of the information from net, please do record those in your notes. Pulakeshi II, as we know that he is known as the greatest among the rulers of Chalukya of Badami, and he is one of the greatest kings or great kings of India. He expanded the Badami Chalukyas to Narmada and in the east up to Kalinga. Right? Pulakeshi II, in examination they can ask you the question such as, under whose regime in Chalukya of Badami their rule was expanded to Narmada and in the east up to Kalinga? Then your answer should be Pulakeshi II. When he got to know that his uncle Mangalesha is trying to conquer the throne, he took shelter in the territory of Bana feudatory and declared a war in 609. Now, the question here arrives is, when Mangalesha was in power, Pulakeshi II took the shelter under whose feudatory? Then the answer should be Bana feudatory. Next comes Vikramaditya I. Who was Vikramaditya I? He was the son of Pulakeshi II. Ganga records talks about the major victory of Chalukyas over Pallavas and Vilande, in which Ganga's Bhuvikrama played prominent part and snatched the valuable necklace called Ugrodhyaya from Parameshwara Varman. See, these are facts. Of course, these are facts, but you need to remember, because we are trying to understand history and we can't go in a way of movie or a picture. And that's the reason you should buy at those things. That according to Ganga records, it talks about the major victory of Chalukyas over Pallavas at Vilinde, that means the place called Vilinde, in which Ganga's Bhuvikrama played a prominent role and he snatched away the necklace called Ugrodhyaya. Do remember this, that name of the necklace was Ugrodhyaya from Parameshwara Varman. Vikramaditya I was assisted by his son Vinayaditya. Now, who is the son of Vikramaditya? Vinayaditya. And his grandson Vijayaditya. Who was Vijayaditya? He was the son of Vinayaditya. Next is Jaisimha, that is brother of Vikramaditya I. Do remember that Pulakeshi II had sons, right? We'll get to know it here. Just a minute. Sorry, that information is missing, but do remember that Pulakeshi II had 4 sons and 1 daughter. Yes, it is there. Pulakeshi II had 4 sons. The names of 4 sons were Aditya Varman, Chandraditya, Vikramaditya I and Jaisimha. And do remember Pulakeshi II had a daughter called Andara. Okay? You need to remember these names. Now we will get to know some of the details of this Jaisimha, where he played a prominent role during the regime of Vikramaditya I. Jaisimha was the brother of Vikramaditya I and he defeated the ruler of Vallabi. Who was that ruler? He was Vijjada, or the other name is Vijaratha or Siladitya III. And records have considered it as an important victory as that of Pulakeshi II's defeat over Harsha. See, I think we have missed one of the information about Pulakeshi II. Pulakeshi II, he defeated the Harsha, that is Harshavardhana, and his southward conquer was stopped by Pulakeshi II. And that's the reason Dakshinapateshwara is the title that is given to Pulakeshi II. And the same kind of victory of the Jaisimha over the ruler of Vallabi, that is Vijjada or Vijaratha or Siladitya, is considered as important as that of Pulakeshi's defeat over Harsha. Some of the records or the facts that you need to remember is, first one is Gadwal record, Gadwal, Gadwal record. It tells that Gangama Devi, she was the princess of Ganga, was the queen of Vikramaditya I. Amulapadu record tells that Vikramaditya I was initiated to Saivism by one of the Sudarshanacharya, but he continued to patronize Vaishnavism. Dimmagudi record, it talks that Vikramaditya I crowned his son Vinayaditya in 681 AD. Now, let's revise some of the things that we have dealt till now. First is Jaisimha was the grandfather of Pulakeshi I. Ranaranga was the father of Pulakeshi I. After Pulakeshi I, Kirtivarman came to power. When Kirtivarman died, Mangalesha ascended the throne. But when Pulakeshi II, he declared a war in 609, he killed Mangalesha and he came to power. His major achievement was defeat of Harshavardhana and he got the title called Dakshinapateshwara. After Pulakeshi I, Vikramaditya I came to power. Jaisimha also defeated the ruler of Vallabi, that is Vijjada, and it is also considered as one of the major victory as that of the Pulakeshi II's defeat over Harsha. Then comes Vinayaditya, right? As we got to know from Dimmagudi record that Vikramaditya I crowned his son Vinayaditya in 681 AD. Next, some of the information about Vinayaditya. According to Jeuri records, Jeuri, Jeuri records of 684, it talks about his victory against Pallavas, Kalabharas, Keralas, and Hayas. It's very difficult to remember the names, but you need to remember. It talks about the victory over Pallavas, Kalabharas, Keralas, and Hayas. Kolhapur plates of 693 speaks about his victory over Ceylon and Camera. Why this is important? Because he has got the victory over Ceylon and Camera that was not done before in the Chalukya of Badami. Vinayaditya sent an embassy to the Chinese court in 692. See, there was a same type of embassy sent by Pulakeshi II to the Persian Emperor Khusro II. And this can be the question that can be asked. Who were the two kings that sent embassies to Chinese court as well as Persian Emperor? The answer will be first one to Chinese court by Vinayaditya, and the Pulakeshi II sent an ambassador to the Persian Emperor Khusro II. Vinayaditya sent an expedition to the north under the crown prince, that is his son Vijayaditya. Though Vijayaditya got victory, but he was captured, and in this sorrow his father, that is Vinayaditya, died. Later Vijayaditya escaped and ascended the throne. Now titles of Vinayaditya are Yuddhamalla, Sahasrariska, and Satyashraya. Do remember this? What were the titles of Vinayaditya? Yuddhamalla, Sahasrasika, and Satyashraya. Next comes Vijayaditya, that is son of Vinayaditya. Vijayaditya, his major event was defeat of Pallava, that is Parameshwara Varman II. And do note, this was led by the crown prince Vikramaditya II. Now who is Vikramaditya II? He is the son of Vijayaditya. Vijayaditya built Vijayeshwara temple at Pattadakallu. Do remember, this can be asked in examination. Vijayeshwara temple at Pattadakallu was built by Vijayaditya, or else Vijayeshwara temple is located in which place? Then our answer should be Pattadakallu. Vikramaditya II, right? Who is Vikramaditya II? He is the son of Vijayaditya. He came to throne in 734 AD, and this is known by Lakshmeshwar record. Right? This can be asked. Vikramaditya II came to throne. It is known by which record? The answer should be Lakshmeshwar record. Important achievement are he captured Kanchi from Pallava, but he didn't destroy the Kanchi. Do remember this. There can be a sentence which tells that Kanchi was captured by Vikramaditya II and he destroyed the Kanchi. But that's not fact. The fact is he didn't destroy the Kanchi, but he donated heaps of golds to Rajasimmeshwara, that is Kailashnatha temple, and inscribed a Kannada record there on a column. It is recorded the information about the grants given by Vikramaditya II. Who was the king who inscribed a Kannada record on the column of Kailashnath temple? If this question arrives, the answer should be Vikramaditya II. During his regime, that is during the regime of Vikramaditya II, Arabs captured the Sindh but were severely defeated by Avani Janashraya Pulakeshi, that is Chalukya governor at Lata, Gujarat. See, do remember this fact. It says that when the Vikramaditya II was ruling, the Sindh was captured by Arabs and they were severely defeated by Avani Janashraya Pulakeshi, and he was the Chalukya governor at Lata, Gujarat. Now, the most important question that is asked from this section is the queen of Vikramaditya II. There were two queens of Vikramaditya. One was Loka Devi and Triloka Devi. Do remember, the both Loka Devi and Triloka Devi were sisters and they were from Tirupati. Loka Devi built Lokeshwara temple, called, now it is called as Virupaksha, and do remember this called LV, that is Loka Devi for Virupaksha temple. And Triloka Devi built Trilokeshwara temple and it is known as Mallikarjuna temple, that is TM. Triloka Devi built Mallikarjuna temple. And this question has been repeatedly asked in the examination. of KEA, KPSC, and most of the central exams also have asked this question. So please do note the point, and it can be repeated again and again. Next, the last king was son of Vikramaditya II, that is Kirtivarman II. He ruled from 744 to 757 AD. Kirtivarman II is also known as Rahappa. Okay, this name can be asked like, who was the king of Chalukya of Badami, who was also known as Rahappa? Then your answer should be Kirtivarman II. Lost his kingdom to Rashtrakutas Dantidurga in 753 when Dantidurga captured Badami. But he was completely defeated by Krishna I, Dantidurga's successor. By this, Rashtrakuta succeeded to the vast empire of the Chalukyas, and here completes the Chalukya dynasty of Badami, and the rule of Chalukyas was ended, and which was overtook by the Rashtrakutas. In the upcoming videos, we will be seeing the Vijayanagar Empire, one of the most important empire that ruled over the Karnataka. They have brought huge prosperity to Karnataka and huge development. Most of the questions are asked from Vijayanagar Empire as well as Chalukyas of Badami and Adil Shahi of Bijapur. So let's complete those videos. I think these videos are useful for you. If you have liked the video, please do hit the like button. If at all you are new to the channel, please do subscribe. If you haven't joined the Telegram channel, you can join the same. The link will be provided in the description. Thanks for watching the video. Have a nice day. Bye.